We live in the most comfortable age in the history of mankind. Your food is delivered to you. Your environment is kept at a perfect, unchanging temperature. The sum of all human knowledge flickers in your pocket, a tool you use primarily for distraction. You are cushioned, pampered, insulated. Yet men have never felt weaker, more anxious, more trapped. This comfort is a gilded cage. You feel the bars, even if you cannot see them. A deep, nagging sense that you were meant for something more than this convenience. There is a sickness in this comfort, a rot. It makes the spirit soft. It whispers that ease is the goal, that suffering is the enemy to be avoided at all costs. This is the great lie. Centuries ago, in a place of rock and dust, a different truth was carved into the souls of men. A truth written not in comfort, but in hardship, forged not in safety, but in struggle. When a Spartan boy was born, he was washed in wine, not water, to test his constitution. If he was weak, he would not survive. This was the first mercy, a swift end to a life that would bring shame. At 7 years old, he was taken from his mother's soft embrace, not as a punishment, but as a beginning. He was given one garment for the entire year, no shoes. His bed was a pile of reeds gathered from the Eurotas River with his own hands. He was given barely enough food to survive, not to be cruel, but to be kind. The kindest lesson a man can ever learn, to find his own strength. Soft times create weak men. This is an iron law of nature. You cannot change it. But you who feel the bars of your comfortable cage, you have a choice, the most important choice a man can make. You can choose to become hard in a soft world.
Act 1. The modern disease of comfort. Your suffering is not the noble suffering of the soldier or the athlete. It is the low, humiliating suffering of the spectator. The suffering of a man who watches his own life pass by on a screen. You suffer from a lack of purpose, a lack of challenge. You are drowning in a sea of choices, yet you have chosen nothing of consequence. You seek pleasure to numb the pain of your emptiness. Another scroll, another snack, another hit of dopamine to distract you from the void where your discipline should be. This is not living, this is a slow decay. The Spartans knew a secret that your world has forgotten. They knew that true freedom is not the freedom to something, it is the freedom from something. Freedom from fear, freedom from want, freedom from the opinions of the weak. How do you achieve this freedom? You do not find it by seeking more comfort. You find it by voluntarily embracing its opposite. You must court discomfort. You must seek out suffering, not the suffering of victimhood, of whining and complaint, but the suffering of the warrior, the suffering that is chosen, controlled, and transformed into strength. The path to ultimate freedom runs straight through the heart of hardship. There are no shortcuts. Your modern life is the agode you never had, but it is an agode of weakness. It is time to enroll yourself in a different one. Act 2. The 3 Spartan Laws. Seek discomfort daily. The first law is the most fundamental. It is the foundation upon which all else is built. For the Spartan, hardship was not an occasional test. It was the constant state of existence. It was the air he breathed. You must make it yours. This begins with a simple daily rebellion against the tyranny of ease. When your warm, soft bed begs you to sleep for another hour, you must rise. in the darkness, in the cold. When the warm water of the shower promises to soothe you, you must turn the valve to cold. Stand under the torrent. Let the shock seize your lungs. Let your body scream in protest. And in that moment, you will learn the first lesson of power, that you are not your body's servant, you are its commander. When food is abundant, you must occasionally choose to fast, to feel the pang of hunger and understand that it will not kill you, that your mind can master your stomach. Why? Why do this? Because each time you choose the harder path, you drive a spike into the heart of your own weakness. You are telling your deepest instincts, your craving for comfort, that they do not own you. You are proving your sovereignty to yourself. This is not masochism, this is training. When the storms of life come, and they will come, you will not be the man who breaks because his internet is down or his latte is cold. You will be the man who has already faced the cold, faced hunger, faced discomfort on his own terms. You will be unshakable. Your body is your weapon. The Spartans were not brutes, they were philosophers of the body. They understood that a soft body houses a soft mind, that physical weakness is a gateway to moral weakness. Your body is not an ornament to be sculpted for the approval of others. It is not a vessel for pleasure. It is your primary instrument in this world, your weapon, your tool. Neglect it, and you neglect your capacity for action. You make yourself a slave to your own limitations. Training, then, is not a hobby. It is a moral duty. It is the daily sharpening of your blade. The run that burns your lungs is not punishment. It is practice for the day you will need to endure. The weight that feels impossibly heavy is not your enemy. It is your teacher, showing you the limits you are about to surpass. There is no philosophy in a book that can replace the lesson learned when you push your body to its edge and then command it to take one more step. In that moment, all abstraction falls away. There is only you, your will, and the resistance of the physical world. This forges a quiet confidence that no words can grant you. A man who knows what his body can endure knows what his spirit can endure. He walks differently. He meets the world's gaze without flinching. Do not seek complexity, seek consistency, a daily practice of pushing, pulling, lifting, and carrying. Make your body capable. Make it resilient. Make it a weapon that you are proud to wield. The Phalanx mentality. No Spartan fought for himself alone. His strength was meaningless outside the phalanx, the wall of shields, the interlocking unity of brothers. Your modern world preaches hyper-individualism. It tells you that you are an island, that your success is yours alone. This is a lie that leads to isolation and despair. You are not meant to walk this path alone. A man without a band of brothers is a man who can be easily broken. Your phalanx is the men you choose to stand with, the men who hold you to a higher standard. Not the men you drink with and complain about the world, but the men you train with, the men you share your struggles with, the men to whom you can confess your weaknesses without fear of judgment, only with the expectation of accountability. The Spartan mother's words to her son as he left for battle were the ultimate expression of this mentality. Come back with your shield or on it. Return victorious, with your tool of war intact, or return dead, carried upon it. But do not return having thrown it away to run faster. There is no greater shame than abandoning the brothers who depended on your shield. Who are your shield brothers? Who hold you accountable? Who would you fail to let down? Find them. Forge your phalanx. Your discipline is not just for you, it is for them. Your strength becomes their strength. Your resilience becomes yours.
Act 3. The Modern Spartan Protocol. The theory is nothing without practice. Words are wind. A simple, brutal, daily routine. There is no magic here, only discipline. Upon waking before dawn, you rise while the world is asleep. You do not check your phone. The digital world is a plague of opinions and distractions. Your first hours belong to you. You face the cold, a cold shower, a walk outside in minimal clothing. You shock your system into alertness. You greet the day on your terms, not with a sluggish groan, but with a controlled confrontation. The morning training. Your body is your weapon. You sharpen it. 1 hour, no excuses. Run until your heart hammers against your ribs. Lift something heavy. Push, pull, sweat. The exercise does not matter. The effort is everything. This is not about fitness. It is about ritual. It is about proving your dominance over yourself, each and every day. Throughout the day, you practice minimalism. You eat to fuel your body, not to entertain your tongue. Simple, whole foods. You limit your digital consumption. You are a man of action, not a passive consumer of content. Every minute spent scrolling is a minute stolen from your own life. You speak less. You listen more. You measure your words. A Spartan's speech, like his actions, was direct and purposeful. The payoff, freedom. This is not a life of deprivation. That is the lie your comfort-addicted mind will tell you. This is a life of ultimate freedom. The freedom that comes from needing nothing. When you are no longer a slave to your warmth, your fullness, your entertainment, your comfort, you become unstoppable. A man who needs a fancy car to feel important is a slave to the car. A man who needs constant validation from others is a slave to their opinions. A man who cannot bear a moment of boredom is a slave to his distractions. But you who have embraced the cold, the hunger, the strain, what can the world hold over you? You have faced a harder master than any boss or critic. You have faced yourself, and you have won. The goal is not to become unfeeling. It is to become unwavering. To have a core of hardened steel that no external event can bend or break. This is the Spartan way. It is a path of voluntary hardship, a path of discipline, a path of brotherhood. It is a path that leads to one destination, the unconquerable self. The world is soft. It is begging for men who are hard. Not hard in heart, but hard in will. Will you answer?